So today we're going to talk about switches and outlets. But before we talk about switches and outlets, let's talk about the wire that goes to the switches and outlets. We use a 14 wire, 12 wire for basic outlets and switches. So 14.2 means I have two current carrying conductors in the wire. This ungrounded conductor, which they reference as hot, this neutral, that's white. And then you have ground. Ground does not carry current. It's only there for your protection. 14.2, I'll be honest, I don't use this in my home anymore unless I already have a 14 wire circuit. If I'm running new circuits, I always upgrade to a higher size. So 14.2, the current carrying conducting capacity, if you do the math, no more than 12 amps, full at 100%. 14.3. Now, just like I said before, 3 means current carrying conductors. You have a red, a black, and a white. White, again, always neutral. Red and black, they are my ungrounded conductors, or hot, that I have. So it's 14.3. If I have a job I'm going to and it's a new circuit, this is the wire I run. This is 12 wire. This one right here is 12.2. That means I have two current carrying conductors. That means they carry current. I have my ungrounded conductor, or hot, and my neutral, and of course ground. These are your generic wire sizes and types in the home. First, let me go over to the generic type of devices. First, I have a 15 amp outlet. How can I tell it's 15 amps? Well, look at it. I don't have any side line here. So 15 amp outlet or receptacle has 3 different points of contact. You have the silver screw, or the long lined connection point. That is called your neutral. That's where the white wire will go into. The shorter line, you have brass. Brass is where I put the ungrounded conductor, or hot, green. This is ground. Now, if you have a metal box, you're supposed to ground the metal box and also ground this. Ground, that's for your protection, to save your life. If you could tell, there's my little dash. So this right here would be my 20 amp outlet. That means I have a chance to plug in a 20 amp plug. I have a small slot, bigger slot. Bigger slot in silver, that is my neutral. Smaller slot and brass, that is my ungrounded conductor, or hot. And then this, which is ground, green, okay, just like I said, this gets grounded along with the box. They are the different outlets. So now I'm going to move on to switches. The first switch I'm going to cover, which I'm going to cover just this, I'll cover the other type of switches like 3-ways and stuff later, is your single pole switch. Single pole switch. I have 2 brass screws. If you notice, brass, no silver. So usually in switches, I never switch a neutral. There's some applications do, but I never switch a neutral. I have my power going to the top, and then my light wire to the bottom. Once I hit the on switch, there's a contact that closes, passing power. That's all this does, is turn off and turn on power. This is a single pole switch. I have the 2 model, right? They can work independently of each other, like so. So that's basically switches and outlets. How do we wire switches and outlets? Thanks for asking. Again, this is a outlet. Ungrounded conductor, which is black. And then a grounded conductor, neutral, which is white. This type has a compression. So when I screw this down, it compresses the wire into it, keeping it nice and firm. Very good product. This is expensive, but it's worth it. Here's our basic model. Very cheap. Very cheap outlet, 15 amps, but the problem is you have these little points here. I nicknamed them stabs. Don't use them. Always twister wire. Don't use these. I almost burned my parents' house down when I first worked in residential. I didn't know, And next thing you know, they were complaining about no power. I pull it out, the thing was burned up, literally broke in my hand. So don't use this on this type of outlet. Let me do this so I can show you the twist. I'll show you real quick how to wire it. By NFP70E, I should not be doing this live. It should be turned off. Just turn it off. I don't see why you want to work on it hot. You work faster. I used to work on it hot, and then I realized I'm an idiot. Stop being an idiot and work on it. So, white wire, silver screw, bigger slot. Screw down. If you have no other wire to connect, I still would screw down the other side. Next is the hot or ungrounded conductor to the brass. Again, do the other side. And then my ground. Keep pulling in this. If you don't, grounds can pull out. It always has a habit of pulling out. There's a debate whether you tape or not. I tape. I find it better in case a homeowner decides to try to work on his own stuff. He doesn't touch both sides and get hurt pretty bad. Okay. So when you're done, you put it into the box, screw it down, make sure it's level. Done. That is an outlet. If you have more than one wire, how I do it is I put both wires together and I put something called a tail. So both wires will go into the box and one wire will come out of it through a wire nut called the tail. I find that is more proficient. I'm not using the outlet to run all the amps through it. I'm using the wire nut in the back for it. The code states minimum 6 inches out of the box from the back. So now we're going to do a single pole switch. I do have a light. I want both lights lit up at the same time. I do usually in order of importance. Grounds 6 inches out of the box, including this. I like to make sure all, if I have room, I like to make sure I have enough out of the box. Make them all even. Bring all these together. Further out to make this a better connection, I cut off what I don't need. Put a wire nut on. This is the way I do it. I'm a little slow. Used to be pretty fast, but not anymore. And you put it in the back of the box. All the way back of the box. Out of the way. Okay, just like so. I have the wire sticking out. Now I'm just using one pole. I'm not using both sides. Then I do my neutral next. Okay. Order of importance, as I call it. Order of importance. Grounds go in the back of the box. I don't need it. I'm good. Neutrals. Make these both even. If you don't do it my way, that's fine. When I worked residential, I used to try to use strippers, and then my foreman said it was too expensive, and he made me use vinyl cutters or linemen's to finish the job. So now I'm used to it. Sometimes I use strippers, not all the time. What did I forget? Nothing. The switches do not get a neutral. Back of the box. Next I'm going to do is my two lights. If I had 2 powers, I would be doing the same thing. I want both lights on the same circuit. So we'll move the light wire out of the way. Get both my lights together, 6 inches, 6 inches if possible. If not, make them both the same. I'm going to clean these up. I don't need to worry about that. Make them the same. This is 14 wire, by the way. Usually much faster. I'm just showing you slowly, step by step. Now what I like to do my tails, I don't like them short. I like to make them the same length as the wire coming out or longer. So that way when I push them in, the switch is nice and easy. Okay? This one's going that way. Make them all the same size. Again, that's what I do. I try to do more than 6 inches. They just habit. I'd rather see it than look for it. That's the phrase I use. What's happening is that this is going to be a rough. I got to worry about drywallers, so I got to put it in a way where it's seesawed, right? When I put it in a box, I got to put it in so like this. That way, when the drywallers cut, they cut this section, not back here. I'll still have more. Okay? That's why I want more than 6 inches. A lot more if I can. But that's how you put it in the back of the box, like so. Even when I'm finalizing, I still do the same. So now, I'll put my switch together. Usually I'm much faster. When you see the switch, you should see on, not no. If you see no, you're the wrong way. So again, I like to put the energy source or the line here and the load down here. It's a habit. I do that with disconnects, anything that has a switch or some kind of opening device. That's what I do. I do the power up top and the line up top and load on the bottom. Load means going to the light or device. You want to go the right way with the wire, because you go the wrong way, it pushes it out. So if you notice, I'm going this way with it instead of that way. And that's it, buddy. That's how to do a switch. Pretty simple. So this is Sean from TechTrainSolutions. Single poles and outlets. Pretty easy.